Guys, how are you doing? So, there is this trend going on social media, especially TikTok. I don't know if you have come across it, and it's about this tariff war going on between the US and China. The tariff war is actually going on between like the US and the whole world, which is on pause right now because they are negotiating. But then the US and China are going at it like for boot to boot, and China is not backing down. China has said in some statements that they are not backing down. They've been here for so many years, like over 5,000 years, and US is trying to bully them, and so they are not going to give up. They're not going to end this war anytime soon, and they are going to see who would lose. But then there is no winner or loser in the world tariff. A lot of people have said that.
China is fully prepared to fight to the very end because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. Right. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000.
But now, what is going on social media is that a lot of these Chinese manufacturers are coming out in their numbers on TikTok and stating that a lot of luxury brands in US, in France, in Italy, so many of the luxury brands that we know, that we love, some of us do not even have money for, and dream that one day we would spoil ourselves with luxury brands when we have the money to spare, actually being shipped from China, and all they do is add their logo and some finishing touches and then sell it at outrageous prices, which you could have gotten at a very cheap price if you had bought directly from the manufacturers in China. Do you believe that?
Recently, Chinese manufacturers have begun identifying themselves as the real creators of luxury goods. In viral videos on social media, factory owners reveal the truth. They've been making bags, shoes and clothes for the world's biggest brands for years, silently. But here's the twist. Many of these products are made in China, then quietly shipped to Italy, France or Spain for one final step. Either attaching a logo, adding a label, or boxing the item.
So are they saying that all those luxury clothing, shoes, bags, makeup from Zara, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Lululemon, and all those big brands that some of us do not even have money for, but wish and know that one day at least we'll get something like one to add to our collections and say, oh, look at my designer, are actually from China.
Wholesalers, it's 2024 and you still don't know who are the suppliers behind Dior? Their knitwears and cardigans are from Beyond Garments from Hangzhou. Beyond Garments is also the supplier behind many luxury brands from America and Europe like Sandra, Maj, Versace. Second, most of the Dior's cosmetic products are actually produced by Taiho Group, which is also the supplier behind Lancome and Loewe. Third, 24-hour packaging technology from Shenzhen provide exquisite packaging and bags for Dior. Who are the suppliers behind Salomon, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike, First, Baocheng Factory, one of the world's largest OEM sports shoe manufacturer. It is like a Foxconn in the shoemaking industry. During its heyday, it has over 100,000 employees in just one of its factories in Dongguan. What even surprised me is that it owns an independent brand called YY Sport. It's like a distributor for sports shoes like Nike and Adidas, same as like Foot Locker in America and JD Sports in England. Second, Huajian Group. It is one of the largest OEM manufacturer for leather shoes in China. On the other hand, Huajian mainly offer the OEM service towards those big brands like Gucci, Tory Burch, Coach, Calvin Klein, etc. Sounds crazy, right?
You see there are more than 700 shops selling all kinds of bags just in this one market, and there are many other markets in Guangzhou. And also there are so many factories making all kinds of bags in Guangzhou. And why you should select and buy bags from us? What is our strong suit? Let me just tell you this. Our strongest suit is that we were the real OEM factory for those luxury brands. We are the same group of people, the same group of artisans who have been making the boutique bags for those luxury brands. We know how to make them real. We know how to make them good.
Let's see what some people have to say about this.
So let me get this straight. All them bags y'all been buying all these years been fake. Y'all been spending all that money on them bags and they fake. Say the Chinese and got mad and told everything. They said the Chinese people say that the bags made in China. When they sent them to Italy and put a tag on them. So y'all telling me everybody around here paying $4, $5, $6, $7,000 for these bags and they fake. So really, the knockoff bags and the quote unquote real bags are the same bag. You gotta be kidding me. I tell you what, this thing finna get interesting. I'm for real, this thing finna get interesting. So now you mean to tell me that all they been do, China makes everybody's bag and all they do is lie and send them to Italy and all these other countries and they just put a tag on. Boy, I tell you.
See this whole trade war with China and America and how China is basically exposing all these luxury brands. Why are we acting surprised? Oh my god, I never knew it cost $100 to make designer items. Wake up and smell the flipping coffee. Do you not know what capitalism is? We're all victims of capitalism. It's just that certain people sit on the furthest ends of the spectrum. The reason we buy anything in this life is for the brand, is for the logo. Let me break it down. If you saw a jacket that looked just like a Moncler, the exact same quality, the exact same stitching, the exact same manufacturer, but it didn't have the logo, would you still buy it? If your answer was no, then congratulations, you're the biggest victim of capitalism. Please, let's be guided, okay? This isn't news. People with common sense have been knowing this. And for those of you screaming, yes, this means reps are real, calm down, buddy. Okay, there's some Jordans I've seen, and I know damn well Jordan never did that move. Listen, I'm gonna be the last person in this life to tell anyone how to spend their money. If you want to buy designer, go ahead and buy designer, but start to accept that you're paying for a logo. And that's perfectly fine. There's many items I owned that I know I could have got for cheaper, but I bought it just because of the brand. An iPhone is a perfect example. The only time I look at people sideways is when they can't afford designer items but still buy it anyways. At that point, you're a slave to capitalism. Each to their own, but me personally, I couldn't give less of a toss about owning designer. I care more about assets and generational wealth than Balenciaga's. Because
You recently bought from any of these designer brands, any of these luxury goods, just recently or even for some time now, at an exorbitant price. How do you feel now? Because some people will be teased because they are holding bags that have the logo on it but are not the designer or are not original, and they are being teased or saying they are buying fake goods and everything. Just for us to know that all these items come from the same source and they're just being branded and sold at exorbitant prices, very expensive prices and all that. At this point, if you are going into any of these shops to buy these luxury goods, maybe you have some money to spare, you feel like, or you just have to have that feeling of going to these expensive shops to buy something expensive for yourself, just to feel like, okay, I have something expensive. If not, what is the use if you can get it very cheap? And so this is what is going on TikTok, and then there are a lot of sites popping up where you can go and order all these your luxury goods. Maybe then you wouldn't get the logos on it, that's the only thing, but then very quality and the same thing for cheaper amounts. A lot of people have the notion that so many goods that are coming from China are cheap and are not really strong and they just get spoiled, and so they are not worth buying. Okay, but then there are other things that are really of good quality that are from China. And I also think that maybe these manufacturers should come together and create like an app so that some of us can just find it easy to use, because going to this website, having Chinese translating and everything is too cumbersome and it's too difficult to navigate. And so if you come up with like an app, like Temu has an app and all those apps, we can easily buy from you, and so that we can cut off these middlemen that are really extorting so much money from the ordinary people. Yeah, so have you come across this trend going on? What do you think about it? Let me know your comments down in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.